Dungeons and Dragons Honor Among Thieves has rolled into theaters, but is it worth seeing? Find out here on the Beniverse. Hello and welcome to the Beniverse. My name is Ben Friedman, film critic for such magazines such as Highbrow Magazine. I am an independent film critic, and today I am talking about the film Dungeons and Dragons Honor Amongst Thieves. Just want to say, I haven't been on this channel for a few weeks. I've been pretty sick. In fact, I'm still feeling that. So that's explains some of my low energy, but I did see a few movies these past few weeks that I did want to start reviewing. And the first of them is Dungeons and Dragons Honor Among Thieves, which stars Chris Pine, Gina Rodriguez, and an ensemble cast. And you know what? When this trailer originally came out for this film, I thought it looked really bad. I am a big fan of Chris Pine, not as much of Gina Rodriguez. The movie just looked cheap. It looked rushed. It looked like every fantasy movie that has ever come before it. And I want to say, in this review, my impression of that is correct, yet I still had fun of it. Let me just say this, so let's get out the negatives out of the way first. Dungeons and Dragons is every fantasy trope you've ever seen. You can predict this plot from a mile away. Who the bad guys are going to be, where the twists and turns come. It is a very predictable fantasy film that is spearheaded by a very charismatic actor in Chris Pine, who is giving this film all he can. He has this charm and charisma just oozing off him that really just brings that character to life. I can't tell you a single detail about his character besides the fact that it appears to be he is a rogue and he has a relationship with his daughter that he's trying to get back to. That's all I can tell you, but I can tell you Chris Pine does what Chris Pine does, like he's done in films like Wonder Woman or Star Trek. He comes in, charisma overload, and he steals the film in that way. And he and Gina Rodriguez actually have really good chemistry throughout. The special effects in this film are very not good, and that's being generous. Some of these special effects are pretty brutally bad. Now, the film gets away with it where it is so tongue-in-cheek at times that it almost feels like the special effects are done poorly for comedic timing, and in one case with a dragon, I think that works to very well and strong degrees. However, throughout the film, you are just looking at it and you're like, it is just a lot of CGI fire everywhere and nothing looks particularly real or grounded. Now, what this film, Dungeons and Dragons, does do distinctly versus the MCU is there are real shots and real locations within this film. There are scenes where they are in bars. There are scenes where they seem to be traveling around the English coast. Those look real because they're shot on location, and that does help ground some of the poorer CGI, where you can feel some realness throughout the film. Instead of Marvel, which Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania, as much as I enjoyed that film, you are in a CGI world the whole time. This does have a bit of a mix of grounded and CGI in use. Now, the aspect that most impressed me of this film was its comedy. The comedy is actually very funny throughout. I think this film is a very funny film. John Francis Daley and Jonathan Goldstein directed this film. They directed such previous films as Game Night with Jason Bateman, and they also directed The Vacation Movie. They know how to do comedy very strongly, and when comedy is played in this film, it usually hits to really good degrees. In fact, there's one really funny cameo in this film that just had me howling at it. I think it was very funny. I think Chris Pine works with their dialogue very well. I thought everyone played their roles really well. In particular, Hugh Grant is really good in this film. Justice Smith is very talented, and Regé-Jean Page does really well with the comedic bits he is given throughout. Now, like I said, as a fantasy film, it's very straight down the middle. You can predict all the scenes, all the tropes of fantasy, all the adventures they're going to go on. However, when the film works best is when it becomes more of an Ocean's 11 type heist film. There are a lot of elements of just the classic planning a heist, executing the heist. Mixed with the comedy, the film actually really moves there and is very entertaining. Chris Pine does a great job as the Danny Ocean type role in this film. With all that said, I don't have much else to say about Dungeons & Dragons Honor Among Thieves. It is a vehicle project for Chris Pine where he gets to just exude his talent, his charisma, his charm to the public. Dungeons & Dragons Honor Among Thieves kind of plays like a Pirates of the Caribbean sequel, maybe 2 or 3, where if you're into this genre, if you like this type of film, you're probably going to have a lot of fun. If you're not into dungeons, if you're not into dragons, if you're just not willing to give this film any form of a chance and have fun with it, I don't think you're going to enjoy it. I had a lot of fun with this film. I can overall recommend this film, and I think the comedy is going to keep audiences coming back to this film. And if a sequel came out, I'd be more than happy to see a sequel. I am giving Dungeons & Dragons Honor Amongst Thieves a 3.5 out of 5-star review here on the Beniverse Movie Channel. Anyway, guys, thank you for watching this video. If you like this video, make sure to like and subscribe to this channel. My name is Ben Friedman here from the Beniverse Movie Channel. Thank you so much. Take care and bye-bye.